And well, Africa is struggling to deal with a crucial issue. 1 in 10 schoolgirls are missing classes because they don't have proper sanitary pads. Tragically, some are forced to use rags, newspaper, or even bark. The Department of Women has now launched a sanitary dignity program. To get some background on this, let's speak to Dr. Tragically. Very good morning to you, Doc. Thank you very much for joining us. Let's talk about this program and essentially how will it work.
Good morning. So the Sanitary Dignity Program has got 2 components to it. The first is the enabling environment, and the second would then be implementation. In terms of the implementation, in terms of the enabling environment, what is important is to understand that before you can even distribute sanitary pads to young girls, you've got to have this environment which allows you to put systems in place, create norms and standards. It has to be an integrated approach. So provinces have been implementing programs, but some have been fragmented. And so as a Department of Women, we then developed this policy, which was then taken to Cabinet, and we were advised that we should have an implementation program. And this is the program that is now being implemented, and we are working with other departments like your Department of Education, Social Development, Health, the Department of National Treasury, Department of Water and Sanitation. So it's various government departments that are working together to drive this program, and it is being coordinated by the Department of Women. So yesterday we were then launching the program and sensitizing provinces that the program that's going to come into effect on the 1st of April, then provinces need to know about it. So that was what yesterday was all about.
Right. So in terms of access, so when this rollout actually begins, we know that we have some areas, very rural areas, which are very difficult to access, and that's where most of the help is actually needed. How do we access those areas?
So the department is going to work very closely with the provinces, and we are going to be assisting the provinces in ensuring that there are systems. And there could be road access and transportation, but we are going to work and rely on the provinces to guide us. We are just providing the framework, because remember that the Department of Women does not implement, but this is just a framework on guiding provinces, and we will have implementation guidelines. But provinces, I think, are in a better position to guide in terms of how they reach access, as they would when they have to deliver the books to the schools in the rural areas.
When you look at the work that you have been doing on the ground, we keep talking about how difficult it is for girls to access sanitary pads on the continent, not just in South Africa. What is the reality on the ground?
The reality on the ground is that we already have a high. I think if a girl or a family has to choose between food and a sanitary pad, they would want to put food on the table. And we know that we have high levels of food poverty. So indeed, it is true that there are girls that actually do not have access to sanitary towels. It's also situations of pain management, that some girls don't go to school because of pain management. But in
Dr. Tragically from the Department of Women, we thank you.